All right, so I'm going to go over how I traded this morning on the 15-second time frame. I know not everybody has the 15-second time frame they can trade from. So a couple things I'm going to mention is, one, I'm always trading on the 3-minute time frame for entry during normal market hours. Other than that, the only time I drop down to a 1-minute or 15-second time frame is if I want to see some moves. So I might be on a 3-minute time frame trading. Things move. It doesn't really look that great. Not really sure what's going on. So I'll drop to a 15-second time frame or 1-minute time frame just to see if I can make some more sense out of the moves. Okay, make more sense out of what's going on those 3-minute candles. Well, in order to do that, if I drop to a 15-second time frame, I can see how things are moving. Okay. The other is during news. So during news, I like to wait at least 1 minute. So there's times I'll wait longer. I'll wait for like the first 10 or 15 minutes of news just to blow out of the way and then get some sort of structure and change. There's others where I just like to trade during the news. I like to get involved in that. It's very exciting. It happens very quick. It's a good money to make quick, good time to make, a fast money in the market. You have to make sure your brokers will allow it. Some brokers don't allow trading during news. Some make you wait, the 5 minutes after news. You can't trade 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after. Some make you wait a minute. You can't trade 1 minute before, 1 minute after. So in this, I'm going to show you waiting 1 minute after. Basically, I have it set on a 15-second time frame, and we're going to tick and let it roll, and I'm going to show you how I trade. So basically, what I like to do is wait that first 15-minute or 15-second time frame and have it on the 15-second time frame and wait the first minute, okay? The first minute, I'm going to mark the high and I'm going to mark the low, okay? And that's these 4 candles make up the first 1 minute time frame. And there's 4 15-second time frames. So what I'm going to look to do is I look to trade a breakout of the high and low, as well as we can trade in between, okay? So the breakouts typically will break out and run to a profit level. You can quickly profit. Trading in between would be the same thing, but I consider it a little riskier because you're in the middle, okay, where it could bounce back and forth. So the play here is to put a pending order below, okay? So you'd come in and put a pending order here below the low, and you would, let's see, we'll put 10 in there. And then you could wait for a breakout of the high. So there's no use in us even looking at the high right now because it's way down here, okay? So I'm going to put it on a 1-second time frame and start ticking it over. Now, a couple things I like to do is always close partial. So if I'm going to go in with 10 contracts down here, okay, for a breakout, then I'm going to look at my next target, which in this case is I have a 4-hour zone. That's going to be my target, and I want to close partial before it gets there, okay? So I don't like trying to go to the very tick or the very bottom. I like to, go ahead and close out a little bit ahead of time because it doesn't always get exactly to our targets, okay? So we'd put a target marker down here, and we could do this all ahead of time, during these 15-second time frames. So it has to be very, very quick. You have to know. A lot of times it's just mental. You're thinking mentally, what's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Where's my target? I don't always have time to mark these targets, okay? Not when we're on a 15-second time frame. When I'm on a 3-minute, I got all the time in the world to draw a target marker, draw a stop marker. But when we're trading, we don't have that time. So basically, we're going to look to take a trade when it breaks out of the low, the bottom, or if we build up some kind of structure to go back up to the top, okay, to go back up to the news high, basically above this 4-hour zone, because this is one of our 4-hour zones as well. So there's no guarantee that just because it's down through it, it's going to continue to go short. We would look for possibilities to also go long. So I don't get married to a bias in the market. I don't come in and say, I'm bullish all day long. I'm bullish on the day, I'm going to be bullish all day long. I don't come in and say I'm bearish on the day, I'm going to be bearish all day long. Okay? I might be bullish at this time, But 15 minutes from now or half an hour or an hour from now, I might be bearish. Okay? It's going to change. So I always tell people it's bullish, bearish, and otherish. Okay? Bullish, bearish, otherish. Okay? Don't stay married to a direction because the market changes. If the market changes, I need to be willing to change. Okay? If the market goes from bullish to bearish, why would I stay bullish all day long? Okay? If I stay bullish all day long, the market's bullish the first hour, and then it turns bearish. So then when it turns bearish, it goes down. But I'm still bullish, right? Because I said I was bullish all day. So I buy. Well, it keeps going bearish. I lose. I see another opportunity. I think. And because, again, I'm bullish all day long, I buy again. And it keeps moving against me and another loss. Okay? And then again, I buy. And I know people that do this. I know people personally that do this. And I've watched them do it. Take 3 or 4 trades against the market, what the market was moving. The markets, and that's why I'm using this as an instance or reference, was because that day, the market kept going bearish all day long, the rest of the day. So it was bullish in the morning, changed to bearish. They kept buying. They kept saying, well, it's moved so far down, it has to turn. Buy. It was a loss. Well, it's moved even further down. It has to turn. They would buy. They would lose. The one that I'm thinking about that did this, he took 4 losses that day. Everybody else was in a winning trade all day long, riding it with their runners. Okay? So don't stay tied to bullish and bearish. Let the market show you what it's doing. Let the market build up and structure. Okay, let the highs and lows tell you what it is doing. Trade what you see, not what you think or not what you think you know. Okay? So again, I'm going to go ahead and have this. We got it ticked on 1 second, 1 time speed. Again, what we're looking to do is if it trades short to this, then we would sell a target here. We're looking for a short target, right? A target here. And then we would move our stop to break even. And then if it pulls back up between this high and low of that first 1 minute candle, then at that point, what are we going to do? Well, at that point, we're going to, let's make these pretty thick here. At that point, if it pulls back up above the low, we would look to trade it long, right? So let's go short if it breaks it. If it pulls back up, let's look and see if we can trade it long. Where's our target if it's long? Well, if we get in long, our target's going to be up here. Okay, there's our high. I'm going to mark my target right here. What is that level that I just marked? Why did I choose this? Okay, well, I choose that because this is what's considered an inside top. Okay, a top is a high. Okay. So we have a swing high. The inside of that candle is called an inside top, or IT on my chart. It would be reverse if it was a swing low. We would mark an inside bottom. So that's what I choose for my target because it may only get to there. What happens is if price goes up to there and turns at that inside top and then swings back down, what is it made? So if you picture that, and this is more than I wanted to get into on just trade today, but if it comes up and swings here and pulls back, what has it done? Well, if you look at this price point and this price point, it's made a lower high. So if you see times where they come up and they turn underneath the previous high, that's an inside top or inside bottom swing if it's reversed for a short. And that's basically it's made a lower high or higher low. Okay. So I'm going to tick this over and just start trading. I'm going to try not to pause it. I'm going to try and mark stuff as I talk. Sometimes I don't get it all marked out. So we're going to tick it over. We're ready to trade 10. So I'm going to come down here and I would put sell stop of 10. So there we're triggered. There it's hit target. We would have to, I don't know if I can get this done real quick, guys. So I have to close out 8. So I closed off 8, and then I need a stop loss. So my stop loss is there. Okay. So first trade the book, successful. Now it's come up, it's stopped us out. So we're going to look and see what it does in this zone. I'm not interested in taking it short again right now. That's real risky for me. Okay. I need to wait, kind of see what happens because it's back in this zone. Okay. I'm looking for it to break out of this high. So I'm going to get ready to trade 10 again. So we're looking to see what happens. If we get a red candle short back under this low, I'll take it short again with where? My target here. So it's breaking this high. It broke that high. We're going to go ahead and get in with 10. So we're going to buy 10. We're going to move a stop loss about halfway down. And then I would target here. So I'm going to get ready to close 8. I think I had my stop loss. That's where I had it. Yes, big stop loss. So we put up 810 risk or 820. And then as you notice, our take profit is more than this. I don't want to pull this take profit up because I don't want to close it all. I only want to close off 8. So I'm sitting here ready that if it hits this target. So I need to be ready. I got to watch it because normally I get to talking and I don't hit the kill button here. So I have my mouse over here on selling 8. If it hits my target, I'm closing 8. Now you can be aggressive and move your stop up some. You can move it to break even. Like we could go ahead and move our stop up a little. Get ready to sell 8. So we just limited our risk to 400. We're waiting, and it's almost up to 1,000. It's almost up to that. And I'm not using the price point. I'm not using the 1,000. I'm using this target, the inside top. So we're ready to close 8. We're sitting back through a little pullback. So we just got to wait until it ticks, and we just got to be ready to close. Now, again, I would come up here and do this. Will it let me do that? Sell limit of 8. Let's do that. It will let me do that. So we'll put a sell limit of 8 there. I forgot we could do this now on this, on the replay. So we got a sell limit of 8 to automatically close us out. So we're gonna let the market do it. We're gonna let the system do it. So we don't have to make sure to hit that button. Okay, when it closes, now we're gonna go ahead and move our stop to break even. Now, why don't we close the whole thing out? We always want to let things run in case they keep going. Can't really draw a trend line. If I draw a trend line from the wick low on up in any point in here, it's already broken that. So no trend line. You can always use moving averages for trails if you want. So right now it is hitting our top. This was the news high, okay, and we're getting a pullback. So we're just going to let it go. We're going to look at a couple levels to get ready to move our stop. We might get stopped out here. This is not where I'm going to put it. So we're just going to pull that as a stop marker. Let me take the magnet off. So we're going to look to move our stop here, keeping it under that low, that wick right there is where I'm looking. So I'm looking at the plateaus. So it went up, kind of pulled back some, little sideways movement here, shot back up, new high. So this shot up, made a new high higher than that one. So that's our defined low. Okay. So we're not going to move till we make a different. We break another high, make another low. So it pulled back down, and glad we didn't move our stop, right? Because it would almost stopped us out. So we're still sitting good with this. It's pulled back up, made a lower high, but again, we're on a 15-second time frame, so we're just going to write it out. It's between the news. It's between that first minute candle of the news. So you just have to sit here and write out. If we're taken out of it, that's fine. So we're just going to wait. I don't know why this is not showing what we locked in on our. This is replay mode. It should be giving me a price over here, down in here, and showing me what we locked in. But I'm not really concerned about what we locked in on that first trade and what we've already locked in on this one. We know they're both positive trades. I'm more concerned with the mechanics and showing you that. Okay, so again, what are we waiting on? I'm waiting on it to make a new high, okay? I'm waiting, does this come up? We want to see it break this high over here, the high from the news candle, okay? If it comes up and breaks that high from the news candle, at that point we can move our stop. Well, where are we going to move it? I still have my stop target here, okay? That's where I have it right now, is still there. So first we just move it to break even. Then we need some confirmation of it's okay to move it. And then we need an idea of where to move it. So first is it okay to move it? No, it's not. Okay, it was okay. We protected our position. That's all we did. Now, if you wanted to leave more room on the table, if you didn't care about losing back, originally where the stop was, if you said, hey, I'm going to close out partial and I'm going to leave my stop where it is, I'm not concerned with pulling it to break even. Well, then that's the way you're trading. Okay, so we're still waiting. We're waiting for it to come through and break. Does it do it on this push? Didn't do it over here, right? So it didn't do it on that push. Does it do it on this one? So this push up here failed to break the high. It didn't even get all the way up there. Basically turned at that inside top. Right now it's making another run. It's really weak. Is it going to break the news high? And that's this horizontal line here, is of course our news high. So we're waiting for, okay, so there we have a clear break, right? It's already broke. It's already making a new high, okay? It's in the process. So let's at least move our stop there and let's look for another level. Okay, well right now we have this line here from this inside top, okay? So we have that line across there, which is also around this high where it turned. So it looks like that might be a good level of support and resistance, right? Resistance as it hit, resistance as it hit. Then it came up, hit, it went sideways, so it held up a support. So that's going to be the next line I move my stop to. Okay, let's make this a little smaller now. And I need to get ticking over there because we're climbing. So let's move our stop up to that at least. Let's look at a next level. Well, the next level of possibly moving our stop is going to be like right here, under the news high. What do I want to see for it? I would like to see it break this high right here. Okay, I want to see it break and hold above that high. So there it's breaking above that high. So let's go ahead and move our stop up some more. Let's pick another spot. The next spot, I'm trying to pick a line next to a line here. So the next spot to, so right now we got 292 on a runner, on our two runners. So the next spot to move our stop is here. It's definitely broke that high. Let's go ahead and pop it up there. Okay. Do we have another clear area that we can move our stop off of? If it'll let me grab it here. I would look to move it here, possibly, but it needs to break this high up here. That's what we're waiting on. We're looking to see if it breaks this high right up here. And then we're also ready for a reversal. If it doesn't, it won't let me grab this tool, guys. I don't know why. So that's the high we're looking to see if it breaks. We were almost taken out, so almost a little too tight. Is it going to go up and break that high? We need to see it break that high. If it goes up and breaks that high, then yes, we would move our stop. This is a little risky now, and I would pull that down for a potential to move. All the while we're looking to see, I have to keep this in the back of my mind. We are at an all-time high. Okay? So this red zone is our all-time high. So we're at that. So I'm looking at structure. I'm looking at highs and lows, okay? I'm going to come back and pull a line here under this low. And if it breaks down through that low, breaks down through here and takes us out, we're going to look to short. So I'm going to go ahead and short. We're falling quite a bit. I'm calling this our break and change of structure. We're going to sell. We would pull our stop up above this high is ideal. Okay, having it clear out of the way in case it, and I'm just going to put the stop lines close because it's been kind of a pain to grab them. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to look for areas to, we just hit the news high, right? So you can either trade it on the pullback that we've changed structure here, changed direction, or you could wait till it breaks the new high, one or the other. The other is, of course, if you're drawing trend lines, you would draw a trend line up like this, right? On this move up, and then it does break and test that, and then push down. So we're in it short. Where's take profit levels? I could draw a take profit level in here, and I could draw one here. Just for some real quick take profit levels. This one's a little too tight for me to close partial, right? So I'm going to set up for 8, and I would come in here, and we would go put a buy limit for 8 above this low. That looks like it's more 1-to-1. It's a little better than 1-to-1, right? So my target here is better than 1-to-1. I've only got 8 to close instead of 10, okay? Because I want to let my runners go, okay? I like to let my winners run. I don't like to close my winners. I'll close my losers. The other day, you guys know I had 3 Forex trades. I can't remember the exact amount, but one was up like $3,600, 3 different Forex pairs. One was up $3,600, one was up like $2,500, and then one was down like $1,200 or $1,400. And what did I do? I went in and posted all 3 of those trades and said, here's what I'm in right now, and I closed the loser. I don't wait for it to come back around. I had a $3,600 trade, a 22 or 400. So I was up over $5,000 on almost $6,000 on 2 trades. The other trade I was down like $1,200 or $1,400. I closed the loser. Why let it go hoping? I don't do that. I don't trade on hope and a prayer. So I closed the loser. Let the winners run. So right now we're up. You could always move your stop down to at any point, guys. I don't fault anybody for moving their stop. And you might move your stop too tight and then it pull back and you get stopped out. But if you move your stop like this to minimize your risk, hey, I'm all for it. Okay. I'd rather see someone move their stop down and get stopped out at less of a loss than it to go all the way back up to their original position. So there. So 8 was just closed out. Okay. So we just closed out 8. Okay. And we have 2 runners on, and we're going to let those go. Now, as far as stop movement, let me take this off. I'm going to take a couple of these lines out of here so not to clutter the stop. And look what it did, guys. It went down here, and it pulled back and bounced on this line right here that I just drew off this high. That's all I did. And that was a target. I was looking for targets. Where's it going to? Now, where do you think my next target is? Well, my next target's down here on this 4-hour zone. Don't know if it's going to get there or not. Let's move stop to break even. So stop to break even. We have a high here. So I would feel safe pulling my stop there. Okay. And now looking at where we can move our stop at this point. Well, we know that we drew a line here. Okay. If we look back to the left, looks like a lot of support in there. I would feel safe pulling my stop here. Okay. I'm basically pulling it above, keeping it above this high in case it pulls back to test it. Now, it could take me out on this pullback. Typically, I would leave my stop back here and give it room to pull back. But this is new, so we're moving it a little aggressive. So we could be taken out here. And there you go. So we're out. Another winning trade, though. So 3 winning trades on this. And yes, I'm down on a 15-minute time frame, but sometimes that's what you have to do. Because if we go back and look at the news, then, or the 1-minute time frame, you're going to see a whole different view on this. Okay. Let's see if it'll switch me over. There's the 1-minute time frame. So if you look back, how would you have traded that on a 1-minute time frame? Again, we already said that you could trade the break of this. Okay, that's your price action trade. Okay, then after that, if you're waiting on candles to signal, you would have taken this green candle right here as a long. If you're waiting on 1-minute candles to form, that candle right there long, you would trade it to this target, hold your runner, goes up. I don't know that you would have had a trend line here. This is a pretty aggressive way to draw a trend line because of that, because it's so steep.